Welcome to this Claude Master explainer on getting started with API keys and the Anthropic console. Today, we're targeting developers who are ready to roll up their sleeves and build back-end services or autonomous agents. We're going to cut right through the confusion, walk through the exact setup steps, and highlight the single credential mistake that can completely derail your project before you even write your first line of code. Let's get into it.
First up, Section 1, the API access illusion, and why your very first call might fail.
So, here's a question we see all the time. Does a paid claude.ai subscription automatically include API access? Now, you might assume that paying for that slick web interface means you're totally ready to start building, right? Well, actually, the answer is a massive, resounding no. If you try using your web credentials for an API call, it's gonna fail. Every single time.
And this brilliantly illustrates the divide. Claude.ai is strictly an end-user chat interface, zero API access included. On the complete opposite side of the wall, you have the Anthropic console. You'll find it at console.anthropic.com. That is where your API keys actually live, where your pay-as-you-go billing is managed, and where your token usage gets tracked. They are two entirely separate products with totally separate billing.
Which brings us to our next section, the $5 unlock, and how to actually activate your Tier 1 access.
There's one number that unlocks this whole shebang, and it's $5. Literally just a $5 minimum prepaid credit deposit. That's what you need to activate Tier 1 API access. Without it, well, you can generate an API key all you want, but every single call is just going to bounce right back at you with an instant authentication error. So if your code is mysteriously failing right out of the gate, this $5 minimum is likely the missing puzzle piece.
Think of the Anthropic Developer Console as your absolute command center. Before you even think about opening your code editor, this web dashboard is where you need to be. It's your hub for managing that pay-as-you-go billing we just talked about, testing out your prompts in the built-in Workbench, and, crucially, managing those authentication keys.
Now, when you're inside the console generating those API keys, you'll notice they all start with SK. But pay close attention here, because there is a super strict security protocol. Your key is displayed to you exactly once. If you close that dialog box without copying it, poof, it's gone forever. There's no way to recover it. You literally just have to revoke it and start the whole process over.
Okay, let's dive into this next part. Section 3, securing your API key, and the one example you absolutely need to follow. Listen, hard-coding your API key directly into your source code is a massive security risk. Instead, you're going to want to follow this strict 4-step Python pattern to keep things locked down. Step 1, install your dependencies. Step 2, paste that key into a locally created .env file in your project root. Step 3, and seriously, never skip this, add that .env file to your .gitignore file before your very first commit. This absolutely guarantees the key never accidentally enters your Git version history. And finally, Step 4, load the file at startup in your main.py. Just like that, your key is safe and your code stays clean. Another huge best practice? Always create a separate, distinct key for each of your environments. We're talking one for dev, one for staging, and one for production. Why? Well, if a development key accidentally leaks and you have to instantly revoke it, your live production application just keeps humming along without any interruption. It's all about isolating your risk.
Now, watch out for this specific Claude Code edge case. If you have the Anthropic API key variable set in your shell environment, it actually overrides your web subscription. What does that mean? It means your charges will automatically route directly to your console's pay-as-you-go balance. So, if you actually want Claude Code to use the usage included in your subscription, you have to explicitly unset that variable in your shell. It's a small detail, but a really important one.
So, the crucial point is, well, let's look at Section 4, 3 rules before coding. These are your final takeaways.
Here is your non-negotiable checklist before you start building. Rule number 1, your console account is entirely separate from claude.ai, and you must fund it with at least $5. Rule number 2, copy your API key the absolute second it's generated, because you won't see it again. And rule number 3, use the .env plus .gitignore pattern. Absolutely no hard-coded strings, ever. If a key leaks, it gets instantly revoked with zero recovery, so lock it down. For the full chapter on this, complete with 3 fully worked code examples, be sure to check out the Claude Master ebook over at claudemaster.net. All right, you now know exactly how to securely activate and manage your API access. So the only question left for you is, what incredible backend service or autonomous agent are you going to build first?